Hey nerds, Conan the Librarian here. Welcome to episode 5. I'm filming these all in a row, so I should know what I'm up to. But yeah, this is episode 5 of sharing with you my recent pickups. Well, I say recent, but not so much recent. But sharing with you my mega haul from a gentleman who sadly passed away but had a massive science fiction collection. He owned a bookshop back in the 70s and 80s here in Australia that was basically just science fiction, possibly some fantasy as well. Um, but yeah, he sadly passed, and I was graciously and very lucky to be able to even just look at his collection and to be able to purchase it for myself into my own collection and to preserve them is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm here doing these videos because they've been basically sitting here untouched, unlooked at for over a month, and I'm now going through them pretty much for the first time because like properly, and to be able to share that with you is awesome. So I've got another bag here of paperbacks. So yeah. Let's go. We got a couple of Void hardbacks, Void publications. I'm pretty sure in a previous video I had 3 of these of the same titles, but they were paperbacks. But we've got some hardcovers here. These I just read Australian science fiction and fantasy series, so it must have been something done in the in Australia here. But what time? What date? Give us a date. In the 80s, perhaps. A Wilk and Company Productions or something. Yeah, I don't know. Aussie thing from before I was born. So this one is called Looking for Blucher. Blauscher. I don't know how to pronounce it. Blauscher. Jack Woodhams. Number 1. And this one could be the one that I had in the paperback. Breathing Space Only, Win Whitford. Number 3. So these are really cool hardcovers. We got False Fatherland, a science fiction by A. Bertram Chandler. This is from 1968, printed by New Century Press in Sydney, Australia. False Fatherland. What would a world be like if there were no women, generation after generation? Interesting. I'm sure I could say some terrible stereotype jokes there, but I will not. I will fight the urge. Who was that by? A. Bertram Chandler. So here we have A. Bertram Chandler, Adventures on the Rim of Space and the Edge of Time, The Inheritors, and Gateway to Never. This is book 2. Look at that cover. That is amazing. That's really cool. Drongo Kane. What a name of a person. Drongo. He's got to be an Aussie. Ace Books. Probably not, but we use the word Drongo here in Australia. It's a fairly Aussie slang. Volume 1 in the RimWorld series, The Rim of Space, A. Bertram Chandler. I sense a theme here. The Wild Ones. Oh, I had this one before. Sci-fi fantasy. I'm just covering that up just in case, because there's oh, Jesus. The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. J.G. Fraser. This is 1,000 pages. Yeah, pretty much. Whoa. Really nice artwork though. Wrap around. But yeah, that's a thick one. The Golden Bough. Probably will never read that one. We got The Martian Race, Gregory Benford. I have heard of that name before. There are some trade paperbacks in here too. I thought this was a book of just small ones. Timescape by Gregory Benford. Winner of the Nebula Award. What year? (1980). First published by Victor Gollancz in 1980, but this one is a 1989 print. Cool. Timescape. Excuse me. Here we got a Jack Vance. A little bit of curvature in the cover there, but that's all right. Light from a Lone Star. It's a little hardback. Small hardcover. What sort of version or sort of copy of this printing is this? This is a review copy, not for resale. So this is a limited edition of 1,000. The first 200 being a numbered slipcase edition. So this is a first edition review copy. So this will predate the numbered editions. So this one, there was only 1,000 copies printed, and then the first 200 were numbered and slipcased. So this one, yeah, this is cool. This predates. So there's like 2,000 and however many as a review copy. So that's really cool. Jubilee by Jack Dan in a big trade paperback. The Memory Cathedral, A Secret History of Leonardo da Vinci. Why was I going to say a musical? Anyway, a novel by Jack Dan. This is really cool. Wow, it's a very soft trade paperback. A Secret History of Leonardo da Vinci. That sounds really good. Really cool. Oh, and it looks to be autographed and inscribed. Unreal. Jack Dan. It's not a name I recognize, but this sounds very interesting. We got Larry Niven in N-Space. Tor science fiction. Introduction by Tom Clancy. That's pretty cool. What year is this one? Nice little hardcover here. Is this a... Tell me what sort of edition this is. It's from 1990. No, I got no idea about all these hardcover editions, whether they're book club or not. Wasn't sure. But yeah, still cool. Anything in hardcover is cool. I like hardcovers on the shelf, but I think I prefer reading a paperback. I don't know. We got Gregory Benford, Against Infinity. I'm going to have to check and see if these are, what editions these are. Just out of my own curiosity. It's from 1983. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Simon and Schuster. The Blue World by Jack Vance. That looks so good. So that looks really cool. This looks like a book club edition. Oh. Inscribed and, well, at least autographed. Well, it's a first edition, August 1979. There you go. Can't see it. Anyway. This looks really good. Is this a good one? Should I read this one? This one looks cool. The Blue World. The Altered Eye, an encounter with science fiction by Ursula excuse me, by Ursula Le Guin and others, edited by Lee Harding. Ah, I recognize the name Lee Harding now because of these pickups. So what do we got? A little little book of what? Okay, so it is a little book of short stories. And then you've got, next to the name, I think this is fallen apart a little bit, but that's okay. But next to some of the names, we've got some autographs. I'm assuming, yeah, that's them. Any more? But it's definitely fallen apart. This is David Grieg signing them all. Yeah, but this is very, very fragile. Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, Hellhole. Oh, so this is a newer trade paperback. See, this is why I believe he was still doing stuff like right up until you know, his unfortunate passing, or at least his family was, because there's a lot of newer stuff in here as well. And then you got stuff like this, Gateway by Frederick Pohl. Oh, that is awesome. Look at that cover. That is fantastic. This is a book club edition. Also autographed. (1977). Fantastic. Starbridge, Jack Williamson and James Gunn. Can somebody please tell me if this is the same James Gunn? You know the James Gunn we're talking about. It's like an ex-library book. What is this? Margot Lanigan. Black Juice. I have not heard that name before. Black Juice is a book of breathtaking stories that defy boundaries. They are dazzling, ruthless, tender, fierce, unique, 10 deeply moving stories from an exceptional author. Ooh. Oh, Australian. Excellent, excellent. From 2004. Cool. That's really cool. Margot Lanigan, White Time. Another one. John Gribben, In Search of Schrodinger's Cat, Quantum Physics and Reality. This sounds like this is a non-fiction, perhaps. Yeah. It tells a complete story of quantum mechanics, a truth stranger than any fiction. Interesting. Brian W. Aldiss with David Wingrove, Trillion Year Spree, The History of Science Fiction, in this trade paperback from 1986. Cool. A. Bertram Chandler from Sea to Shining Star. That is a great cover. From Sea to Shining Star. What is this one about? The first major collection of science fiction stories by A. Bertram Chandler. This collection features rare, out-of-print and previously unpublished stories. It has been edited by Keith Curtis and Susan Chandler and illustrated by one of Australia's most talented science fiction artists, Nick Strathopoulos. Here are 30 classic science fiction stories spanning 40 years of publishing, voyaging from the oceans of Earth to the rim worlds of space and beyond. This first edition of From Sea to Shining Star by A. Bertram Chandler is limited to 500 copies printed on acid-free paper. 100 copies, numbered 1 to 100, comprising the collector's edition, have been specially bound and boxed in insignia red cloth. Insignia red cloth with gold impressed lettering and signed by the editors and the artists. 400 copies, numbered 101 to 500, comprising the numbered edition, have been bound in navy blue cloth with silver impressed lettering. So have I got a... looks like I've got a blue one. Blue with silver. Let me show you that one better. Blue with silver. So this one must be a 101 to 500. Let me see if it has a number. This could also be a preview copy as well. Whoop. Oh, so there is a letter in the back of this one from Dreamstone. Dear reviewer, please note that the review copy may show a small fault that is not likely to be found in the numbered or collector's editions. We regret that this is the case, but there was a higher than anticipated fault rate which left us marginally short of perfect copies for distribution to reviewers. So it is a review copy with a fancy business card. Can't really see. About the author and the company that made this. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is a review copy only. So it isn't numbered, but it is one of the 101 to 500 versions. That's still pretty cool though, because as many as there were copies, there were even less review copies, if that makes sense. Not that I'm going to get rid of this. This is cool. I just wanted to find some of that artwork that was inside there. So there's 30 stories in here. Oh, this one could be one that I read soon. Wow. From Sea to Shining Star. Has anybody read any A. Bertram Chandler? I'm very intrigued by this one. Larry Niven, The Ringworld Throne. Very Halo, isn't it? I'm guessing, well, this obviously came out before Halo. This must be a first edition. I can tell by the way that the paper is. It's all uneven. Because I sold a few of these first editions in my store booth that has those sort of weird paper edging. First edition, June 1996. This one says, for Robert Heinlein. That's really cool. The Ringworld Engineers. I know I've got a couple of those in paperback form. This is a book club edition. Oh, I see some inscriptions. Autographed, Larry Niven. Frederick Brown, Martians Go Home. What is that, a little Del Rey paperback? A Case of Conscience by James Blish. Just want to see who made this one. Arrow Books Limited. It's UK. And The Seedling Stars by Arrow Book as well, James Blish. Here we have The Bitter Pill by A. Bertram Chandler. Mate again. autographed. 1974. Frederick Pohl, a memoir, The Way the Future Was. That would be awesome to read. That would be fascinating. This edition, limited to 500 individually numbered copies, has been specifically printed for Seacon of 79. This is number 95. Also hand signed. Victor Galance, limited, 1979. Out of 595, that's a pretty low number. Somebody was reading this one. There is a bookmark, which is a stamp. Back when stamps cost 55 cents. Oof. Put that in the front. They now cost here in Australia $1.10. I think they're going up again. The Way the Future Was. This Immortal by Roger Zelazny. I have a bunch of... Oh no, I took them off. I had all my Zelazny's on the shelf here, but they are gone now. They're just over there. I didn't get rid of them. This is a book club edition from 1966. I have a lot of Zelazny, but I don't think I've read any. James Hilton, Lost Horizon, Reader's Digest. Whoa. Not quite sure what this is. It's a really nice feeling book with some cool artwork in there. I don't know if it's missing. I have a feeling it's missing a dust jacket, so I don't know anything about this. Not sure. A Canticle for Leibowitz, a novel by Walter Miller. Canticle for Leibowitz. What is this one? A Canticle for Leibowitz provoked lively controversies in the United States well before publication date. A serious and scholarly work? Fantasy? Adventure story? Science fiction? A religious novel? Don't know. They had question marks after all of that. So this was 1960 printing by Lowe and Brian Brydone. Seems like a Dark Ages type. Is it a Dark Ages science fiction of some description, perhaps? I'm not sure. Sounds very interesting. James White, General Practice, a Sector General omnibus. Awesome. Big fan of omnibuses. I love it when they're all together because then I don't have to go searching for the other ones. This is from 2003. The printing is from 2003. Stories are from the 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. Alien Blood by Joan de Vinge. Joan? Yep, I'm pretty sure. Joan de Vinge. I know Vernon Vinge. (1982). So this has got Scion in it and Cat's Paw. So there are two stories in here. Nice little hardcover. Just a little bookmark in there as well. A couple more to go. George R.R. Martin, Tough Voyaging, Gollancz Sci-Fi. Is this one of them yellow jackets? Tough Voyaging. Signed by George R.R. Martin. And I know it's he actually signed it because he's inscribed it as well. From 1987. So is this? Oh, so it even says for Roger and Judy Zelazny. Oh my goodness, who helped make Santa Fe feel like home. So it seems to be a little book of short stories, perhaps. He also worked as an editor on The Twilight Zone. There you go. Maybe it's a book of short stories in this tough universe, because sure, why not? But that's awesome. That's really cool. I've only read his Game of Thrones series, and I haven't even read all of that. I read the first book, and then that was it. And I read that well before it was even a TV series. I think it would have been maybe 98, 99, perhaps 2000, something like that. Original paperback. William H. Shiras, Children of the Atom. Book Club edition. From old Doubleday. Oh, the paper is very... I don't know. It just seems to be very hard to turn. 1953. Children of the Atom. And last one, Ursula Le Guin, McDonald Science Fiction, The Left Hand of Darkness. In a little hardcover. I have this in paperback. I have almost all of her stuff in paperback. No, I'm getting confused with Marion Zimmer Bradley. I do have this in paperback though, but I'm getting confused. I don't have a lot of her stuff. This edition is 1981. The story is from 1969. Cool. So McDonald Science Fiction. They also have Songmaster by Orson Scott Card. I have to hunt that down. Nice little mini hardback there. That's it. Again, thank you so much for checking these videos out. Let me know in the comment section if there's any standouts. To me, I think this one here, the George R.R. Martin Tough Voyaging Gollancz, that seems pretty interesting. About a starship captain. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys have been picking up, what you guys have been reading. And until the next one, guys, stay safe, stay happy, and enjoy your books, whatever they may be. And most importantly, take care.